What's up, guys? It's Chris here to talk about WEC 43 afterthoughts. Honestly, I wasn't planning on doing a video for this. I didn't even do a prediction vid because although I was familiar with some of the names, especially the main event, I wasn't familiar with a lot of the matchups. I knew like guys like Fabiano and Assunção, but other guys I didn't know, like their opponents. So I didn't really want to do a video on it because I don't like just making predictions on guys I don't know were both fighters. But I did watch the event. I'm surprised I didn't see anybody talking about this afterwards, at least no one I'm subscribed to. It was an awesome event, and a main event that, in my opinion, is so far fight of the year in mixed martial arts, without a doubt. Not that I've seen every single bout this year, but I've seen every UFC and WEC bout that's been on a pay-per-view card or a Versus channel, and I haven't seen anything better than Cerrone Henderson. In a while, as a matter of fact. I mean, that was just an awesome fight. So, just go over the fights real quick. First up, we had Damacio Page, first fight of the night against Will Campazzuno. I mean, they came out just absolutely slanging hands, just throwing. Campazzuno actually caught Page, and so Page quickly took him down, got the back. Looked like he had a rear naked choke, and Campazzuno escaped, but then he went to get up and left his neck completely unprotected. And Damacio just threw the rear naked choke on, it was undefended. So he locked up a first round submission with the rear naked choke. Impressive win for Damacio. The guy is always exciting to watch. He's a very aggressive fighter out of Greg Jackson's camp. No matter who he gets matched up against, his fights are always entertaining. So I look forward to what's next for him. Next up, we had Rafael Assunção against Yves Jabouin. This guy trains with GSP. I'd never seen him fight before. You can see he trains with the GSP, threw a lot of the spinning back kicks, had a lot of little flashy offensive moves, somewhat similar to George St. Pierre. Not as good. And had a really good takedown defense. Parts where he really figures he's going to take it down, uses his hips well, much like GSP does. Not saying he's on GSP's level just yet, but you could see similarities in parts of their game, both offensively and defensively. Anyways, this was a pretty good bout, pretty entertaining bout. Assunção, looked on the feet. Yves seemed to have an advantage. On the ground, Assunção definitely had an advantage. He's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, I believe. It was competitive. The thing was, I just felt Yves. It went to a split decision. I just felt like Yves, especially in the third round when he was on the feet, he should have been a little bit more aggressive. He seemed to be better on the feet, as I said. But he just didn't push the pace enough when he was up there, especially in the last round. He was down for early in the third round, then he finally got up on the feet, and he just didn't push the pace enough to win the round, which could have possibly won him the fight. So a good win for Assunção. Looking forward to seeing more Yves Jabouin. Nothing against Assunção, but I'm really intrigued by Yves. He was a really dynamic-looking fighter, and I'm curious to see who they'll match him up with. And I just want to see the guy fight again because I was very captivated by his style. Next up, Macken's Semerse, maybe pronouncing that wrong, apologies if I did, against Wagner Fabiano. This was supposed to be an easy win for Wagner Fabiano. He's one of the best fighters in that division, 135-pound division, in the WEC. Was expected to probably get an early submission. Well, that didn't happen. He got the takedown as he wanted early on. Got a little lackadaisical just for a split second, and Mackin threw on a triangle, locked it on, and tapped him out. I mean, it was very surprising. The announcers were shocked. I was quite surprised. Mackin was a fighter I've never heard of before, let alone to beat Wagner Fabiano, who is a great jiu-jitsu fighter, with the triangle choke that early in the first round was just very surprising. So, huge blow to Fabiano, who was working his way very close to a title shot. As for Mackins, it looks like he trains with Miguel Torres. Showed the submission game. Word is he's better standing. Didn't get a chance to see that. Either way, once again, another young fighter. I'm looking forward to seeing his next fight. So, that's all I got to say about that. Next up was Dave Jansen against Rich Crunkleton. This was a pretty good fight. It was competitive throughout. Crunkleton definitely gave up way too many easy takedowns. Jansen would just shoot him for these sloppy takedowns sometimes, and Crunkleton just didn't even give up any defense for him at all, for the most part. Till the third round, that is. Biggest problem with this fight, referee John Shorley. Dude, you suck. These guys would be on the ground for no less than 60 seconds trying to work, and he'd stand him up. Frank Mir made note of it numerous times broadcasting. What is this referee doing? He's not giving these guys time to work on the ground. Even when Jansen would be in side position, or only half guard, he would stand him up. It was insane. Hopefully Shorley doesn't get a ref any big fights anytime soon, because he sucks. But Jansen was controlling the first couple rounds of this fight for the most part. But in the third round, man, he was gassed. He was done. He had nothing left. And somehow Crunkleton couldn't finish him off. It looked like he tried to numerous times, but he just couldn't do it. And Jansen just continued to pile up these sloppy shot takedowns. Jansen wins unanimous decision. Crunkleton should have been able to stop Jansen in the third. I guess maybe he didn't have the cardio to either, but either way, Jansen pulled out the win. Next up, Scott Jorgensen versus Noah Thomas, TKO 1. Jorgensen pretty much bulldozed Noah Thomas. Thomas was throwing up a lot of submission attempts. Arm bars, triangle attempts, but Jorgensen just seemed to be much more powerful. Powered his way out of submission attempts and just dropped bombs on Noah Thomas. Fight ended with Jorgensen just dropping a couple of elbow forearms on Thomas and the ref stepping in, stopping it. Jorgensen, guy, is a beast in there, man. Very aggressive fighter, very powerful. So we'll be seeing more of him soon. On to the main event. Ben Henderson against Donald the Cowboy Cerrone for the WEC interim lightweight title. Donald the Cowboy Cerrone, one of my favorite fighters. Hard not to be a fan of this guy. Every time I've seen him fight, it's been an entertaining fight. The guy's an exciting fighter, both standing and on the ground. Winner of this was being set up to fight Jamie Varner. Cerrone was hoping to win so he could get the rematch with Varner after the way their first fight ended. But let's just talk about the fight, man. First round, great first round early on. Guys were just all over the place, standing on the ground. Cerrone had some good submission attempts, as did Henderson. Looked like Henderson was going to go out on a couple choke attempts that Cerrone had, but he was able to survive. Just a super fast-paced first round. I mean, these guys just came out. After that first round ended, it made me think, man, these guys didn't have enough to go 5 full rounds, but fortunately that didn't seem to be a problem. Second round, Henderson had a really smart game plan. Kept Cerrone on his back, and pretty much instead of sitting in his guard, stood up and was just dropping punches for the majority of the round to both Cerrone's head and body. Racked up a lot of points in that round, absolutely. Third round did more of the same. Did Ben Henderson use a lot of takedowns, a lot of standing in the guard, doing damage in the guard. Cerrone would try occasional up kicks, would get away temporarily, get the fight standing, get taken back down again. Would try submission attempts, but Henderson definitely controlled the second and third rounds. Fourth round, although he didn't look tired, I think Henderson started to fatigue a little, because he started going for a lot more shots, but they were sloppy. His takedown attempts in the last 2 rounds were really not that good, not compared to the first few rounds. He was having trouble getting Cerrone down. Cerrone was doing a lot better on the feet. Threw on some more submission attempts. Just did a lot better than he had done in the second and third rounds. On to the fifth round we went. Championship round. I definitely think Henderson was fatigued here. Once again, went for numerous takedown attempts. Very sloppy, though. Couldn't really get him. Cerrone got him in a choke. I think it was an anaconda or Darce choke. It looked like the fight was over. I do not know how Henderson didn't tap out. Got him in a couple arm bars / Kimuras. Henderson's arm was so twisted. It looked like a Gumby doll or something. I don't know. But how that man did not tap, I have no idea. The guy's got a serious pain tolerance and just a lot of heart and just doesn't panic. A lot of fighters in the positions he was in would have definitely tapped out or just out of panic if not pain. But he was able to withstand those submission attempts, which were numerous of them were sunken very deep. Anyways, the fight goes to a decision. Unanimous decision, Ben Henderson. I was very surprised at the decision. I thought Cerrone won the first round, the fourth round, and the fifth round clearly. I gave Henderson the second and the third. All I can assume is that the judges gave the first round to Henderson as well. It's unfortunate because, in my opinion, like I said, I thought it was fight of the year in mixed martial arts. But the decision I did not agree with. It kind of was a downer. I am a Cerrone fan, but I do think the majority of people also that I've seen thought Cerrone won. I'm not sure. I'd like to hear you guys' feedback, what you guys thought. But either way, great fight. Looking forward to Henderson against Varner, and hopefully Cerrone will be able to fight the winner because he's had great fights against both guys. So if you didn't get a chance to check out this fight, make sure you watch this event, especially the Henderson-Cerrone fight. Versus always reshows their events numerous times, so make sure you see this fight if you didn't see it. It's definitely worth it. Even if you already know who won, it's worth watching. It's that good of a fight if you're an MMA fan. Anyways, that's it for now, y'all. I'm out of here. Until next time. Bye.